Welcome everyone to our first lesson. My name is Matt. I'm going to start out here teaching basic math here. Eventually we will work our way up to pre-calculus and calculus and all that. We'll do all the algebra eventually, but right now I am starting with basic math, so everything will make sense after what comes, like whether it's algebra or so on. I believe a strong foundation in basic mathematics is very important. So we're going to start with arithmetic and then work our way up into variables and you name it. So the first lesson today is going to be about standard notation of numbers, expanded notation of numbers, and word notation of numbers. So for right now, we will be dealing with a set of whole numbers. So let's see here. Whole numbers, what are those? Those are the set of numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get it. Every digit afterwards. It's a set of 0 to infinity. That's a set of whole numbers. They're counting numbers. You can think of it that way. Whole numbers including 0. Now, if we take off the 0 and we go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on, we end up with what's called natural numbers. Natural numbers are really your counting numbers. Whole numbers are the set of natural numbers plus 0. But natural numbers are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on. For now, we are only going to deal with whole numbers. At some point, we will get into fractions, we will get into decimals, we will get into percentages. But for today, we're going to, and for the next few lessons, we're going to stick with whole numbers. Alright. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about digits and place value. Let's say I have the number 9 here. 9 by itself. That is in the ones place. Ones. Let's say I add an 8 here in front of the 9. I have the number 89. That is going to be in the tens place. Let me write that a little bit better here. Let me write that just a little bit better. So 9's in the ones place. 8 is going to be in the tens place. Let's see. Ones. Tens. Next, if we put a 7 in front of the 8, we have the number 789. The 7 is going to be in the hundreds place. I put a 6 in front of that, I'll have the number 6,789. That's going to be in the thousands place. It's good to learn your place values so you know what digits are where and how many of each digit you have. So this number reads 6,789. So I have 6 in the thousands place, 7 in the hundreds place, 8 in the tens place, and 9 in the ones place. I put a 5 in front of that 6. I now have 56,789. That's going to be in the 10,000s place. And then you get it. You guessed it. If you guessed I was going to put a 4 there, you were right. We have 456,789. That's in the 100,000s place. And we'll do one more. For good measure, I'll put a 3 there. We will have 3, it's in the millions place. If I put a 2 in front of the 3, we go into the 10 millions place. And if I put a 1 in front of that, we go into the 100 millions place. And after that will be the billions place. So on. You get the idea. So every set of 3 numbers here, these all together are consisted of your ones. that make up the hundreds, tens, and ones place. These here make up your thousands. Every set of 3 numbers is called a period. So we have the ones period, we have the thousands period, then we're into the millions period. So again, 9 is this is the ones place, tens place, hundreds place, thousands place, 10,000s place, 100,000s place, millions place. And as you see, it just can get infinitely bigger. And I don't know about you, that's more numbers than I care to write, and I'm sure it's more numbers than you would care to write too, or care to see. And I can't say I blame you. So, alright. Let's talk about, 789, because why not? Okay? This is called standard notation for a number. Standard notation for a number. If you see it with numbers, that's standard notation. That's how you're going to do math. That's how you do almost everyday calculations. Alright, let's choose a different color to write because I am about to get into expanded notation. For the same number, I don't know if you could see that. Let's go with blue. Blue can't go wrong with a dark blue. Expanded notation. So, if I want to write this number in expanded notation, this is where the place value idea comes in handy. I am going to have, again, the 9s, that's in your 1s digit, 8s is in your 10s, 7s is in your hundreds. You're going to start with 700s. So you have 700s plus 8 10s, because you have 8 in the tens column, plus 9 ones. Hope you can all see that. So again, 700s, 8 10s, 9 ones, because that's the place that they're in. So you would write the number that comes in that column, then what it is: hundreds, tens, ones. Let's do another number. Let's do 79,853. Because why not? So the way I just wrote the number, that's your standard notation. In expanded notation, however, we are going to have 7 10,000s, because that's in the 10,000s place, plus 9,000s, because we are in the thousands place, plus 800s, because that's 8's in the hundreds place, plus 5 10s, because 5 is in the tens place, then plus 3 ones, because 3 is in the ones place. So far, so good. Make sure you can see that. Alright. Now we are going to talk about word notation. I'll write standard notation to start with, then we're going to get into word notation. Standard notation, I don't think we need to do it for single digits. Let's start with 17. The number 17, just for the heck of it. If we want to get into word notation, which, by the way, you may be asking, why in the world would I want to write this as a word? Well, two reasons. Number one, if you ever have to write a check, it does require you to write it in word notation on it, as well as standard notation, but word notation is a standard part of a check. So, very few people write checks anymore. However, you still have to know how to write it. Plus, in English, if you're going to write a paper, or even any term paper, research paper, what have you, it is proper English grammar for any number 100 or lower to appear as a word. Once you hit 101 and higher, you can write the number in standard notation. But word notation is what you need for 100 and lower on a paper. Okay, so the number here is, we write in word notation, is 17. Any number 19 and lower, 20 and lower, you can write as one word. However, why don't we'll pick 21 as the next number. I'm going to give you another example here. 21. Alright. Again, you have the standard notation here of 21. Once you get to 21 and higher, it's two words. It's 20. Well, this would technically be one word, but you put a dash in between the 20 and the 1. 30 is one word, as you know, so is 40, but if I were to write 31, 41, 51, it would be a dash. Okay, where are we at? Let's say I give you the number 105. So you would write it as 105. You don't have to write and, you just write 105. If that makes sense. Okay, one more of these word notation and the lesson will be over. But let's say we have 3,928,763. That's your standard notation for 3,928,763. What you would have next to write in word notation, it would be this. 3 million You can write it on one line. It's just I want to be able to show all this on camera without trailing off. That's why I'm writing below it. 3,928,000 700, all separate words, 763. Now, if you're ever very fortunate and get to collect a check for this much money, and I hope you are, that's what you will find near the pay to the order. Right below the pay to the order line, you will find this written in words. So as you see, it can get quite long. You would have to know this for a check. If you were writing a term paper, it would just be standard notation because it's greater than 100. So the takeaway is from this lesson should have been your place digits, knowing your place digits, knowing what whole numbers are, knowing what natural numbers are, being that whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Natural numbers are whole numbers minus the 0. There is no 0. And if you want to remember whole numbers, think of 0. You have a hole. Think of it as you got a hole here. That's how you'll remember whole numbers, because it'll have that 0. It has a hole. So that does conclude this lesson. I will be back next lesson. We will talk some addition. And thank you for watching.